those of you doing the sweepstake, this is an Android tablet. I know there have been some people putting money on whether I'd be using a Kindle or a piece of paper, but no, it has to be something technological. So, wow, what a day it's been, hasn't it? First, we saw Angry Dan McQuillan. Blimey, he was angry this morning, wasn't he? Good grief. He hates some of the radio station's lack of innovation on the radio player. This is an ad I noticed for men's incontinence pads, I think that is, on the Classic FM thing. He also hates the way that we are integrating social media into some of our studios. And my God, Angry Dan hates yogurt. He absolutely hates yogurt. And you don't want to upset Andy. Dan, look. Oh my goodness me. Very, very, very scary. Scary man. Then Rupert Brunn, who was talking about HD quality sound online and his rather clever NetMix system. What I learned from this was A, that he's very clever, but also B, the real benefit of talking to your PR team and working on a new and different way of promoting your technology. Calling an online audio mixer a grunt controller is really, really clever. Now, Tim Davey is, of course, a great marketer, and he marketed Pepsi, but it seems that Rupert is turning into a great marketer too. And it really surprises me that there are loads and loads and loads of companies here doing some really, really clever things, but most of you, with the exception of Absolute Radio, don't market them. Why aren't you telling more people about some of the really brilliant things that you do? Then Mr. Lindsay Cornell, who talked about a very impressive DRM Plus trial on FM frequencies. You could argue, I suppose, that we need another radio standard like we need a hole in the head. Actually, you know, DRM Plus and DAB are pretty close in terms of the FM band and the DAB band. I've been quietly suggesting we might want to think about something with them together for local radio, particularly for markets where you can't justify an entire DAB multiplex for one or two stations. It maybe fixes some of the issues of DAB switchover, but shh, let's not go there quite yet. Then we heard from Andy, Sean, and a bit of Robin about Radio Tag, which works on any platform, FM, DAB, Internet, HD radio, DRM, even AM, Jimmy Buckland. Brilliant. It works on any content, music, speech, commercials, news, drama, and what I liked about this is really working together with the BBC, commercial radio, and a chipset manufacturer, which is excellent. Next, we had DAB in a box. As soon as I heard DAB in a box, I thought of this. And I thought, no. No, actually, we got Matthias Quenchon and Stanislas Roerich. That's Matthias on the left there. Here he is warming up before the... actually, the issue with DAB is lots of broadcasters think that it's really expensive to broadcast DAB, but you know it needn't be. It can be really cheap as we bring the new world of IP into the world of broadcast transmission. And that was a really impressive demonstration, wasn't it? Right here, setting up a low-cost DAB multiplex right in front of us, and it really worked. That's my radio station there. How cool is that? I've got my own radio station. And just so you know how far we've come, last year, this was the most technically advanced thing that we had on this stage. And last year, this was the most technically advanced shirt that we had on this stage. Then we had some really interesting techno bites on metadata and energy consumption. And after that, the man who is in charge of closing pirate radio stations down, Jim McNally from Ofcom, there he is. Man from Ofcom, standing next to an illegal DAB transmission kit. You're unlikely to see that again, quite frankly. He told us why pirate radio was nasty, nasty, nasty. It's a really interesting area. If you want to know more, I might recommend this film, which is on YouTube. It might give you another view into the pirate radio world. If it helps, pirate radio activity is one of the main reasons I tune into LBC on DAB rather than on FM, so maybe it's another reason for switchover. And finally, before lunch, we had Fran from Hackney Here with a really clever location audio tool from Hackney Here, really clever piece of technology, but using audio at its heart, which is really good. Very, very smart. So we had lunch, we had more Technobytes, and then more Ofcom. Ron Stanley told us a lot about what Ofcom is doing in terms of the Olympics. Lots of clever techie kit. They seem really, really keen on closing down people who are causing interference to the Olympics, and they've got some access to some really, really impressive tools. And I hope that they use those same tools to close down some of the people who make interference for us too. Next, the death, ladies and gentlemen, of this. Who remembers this? Look at this. There's even a line here for NNT, for non-needle time. Yeah, isn't that fantastic? That's Radio Air's one there. I love the way that every individual station used to print their own prior to the invention of photocopiers. Actually, the stuff from Soundmouse was really, really clever. And I wondered, there's some audio coming up in just a second, and I wondered, why are you doing all of this stuff? And then it became very clear, didn't it? Because in the middle of his presentation, he said, I want to hear your jingles. And it all became clear he's actually a jingle enthusiast, isn't he? It won't be long before he has a website like this and a jingle package like this.
Nicky's got jingles all over the place. Some people call him a hopeless case, but his collection is awesome and huge, and he's happy to share it with you. All your favorite jingles, Nicky Schiller.
Oh, go on, I'll play you another one.
Nicky Schiller.
Should we have another one? No, let's not. Frightful. Then we had little John Holmes. Very good. And then we heard from Clive Dickens, the third of the Techcon nominees, speaking on behalf of Duncan Amy and Dave Kenny, who are frankly, obviously, either too lazy or too drunk to stand up here. Very, very clever way to get closer to their audiences, and a very, very neat tool as well, as we saw. Mike Hill from the Radio Player announcing a new downloadable desktop app, which is very, very cool. I've had a play with it, it's very cool. And a new embedded media player as well, offering more functionality and more accessibility coming later. Richard from More or Less, who explained that 23% of the statistics you hear are 78% likely to be made up. And the folks from BFBS, who do an amazing, amazing job. What a day. See you next year. Thank you.